Good morning, class 11th. Today we are going to start with the new chapter, that is cell biology. You have already studied about cell in the previous classes elaborately on in class 9th and 10th. Here in 11th we will be revising most of the organelles which you have already studied, plus a few more detailed version of certain organelles will be taught. So as you all know that Robert Hooke was the first one to observe a cell, and the type of cell he observed were dead cells, and he only named these small compartments which he observed in the Koch cells as cell means compartment. Okay, so living cells uh, were first seen by Antony von Leeuwenhoek when he improved his microscope using different varieties of lenses into it. Okay, then you have already been taught about the cell theory. Cell theory was given by M.J. Sheldon and Schwann, which according to them, cells are the structural and functional unit of living organisms. Later what happened, Rudolf Virchow extended the cell theory by suggesting that omnis cellula a cellula, that is, all cell come from pre-existing cell. One important example which I need to discuss here about a typical kind of cell is virus. We all are facing the problem which is being created by COVID. So here we should discuss about virus. These are the most notable exceptional theory to cell theory. Why? Because they lack internal organization and protoplasm. They do not have anything of themselves. They just are enclosed inside a protein coat, and they have their own genetic material. That genetic material can be RNA or just a single stranded or any nucleotides singly stranded present inside that nucleus, that protein coat. Okay, so how they are infecting us? They are just entering into our body, and when they enter, they utilize our body organelles, our cell organelles rather, to work for them. They make their own copies and then they produce toxic substances according to the DNA which they have, according to the genetic material which they have, and hence they produce ill effect on our body. Now moving forward, let us see about the types of cells. There are two types of cells, the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic. Just see the diagrams here. Eukaryotic cells, first let us discuss about prokaryotic. These differentiation of eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell is on the basis of certain things, whether they have membrane bound organelles present or no, whether they have genetic material inside a coat or just open freely floating inside. So on this basis they have characterized cell into two types, the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic. Majorly this is on the basis of nuclear organization. Prokaryote, primitive type of carrion, that is nucleus. Okay, so cells in which mitochondria, chloroplast and nuclear membrane are absent are called prokaryotic cells. These the example will be bacteria, blue green algae, cyanobacteria, that is mycoplasma, etc. Coming on to the eukaryotic, eukaryon means a true carrion, that means a true nucleus present. So these eukaryotic cells have nucleus and other membrane bound organelles present in the cytoplasm. Okay, so these are the a few differences. If we can see an animal cell closely, we'll find out that they do have a DNA which is present inside the nucleus. Here you can see the nucleus. Inside the nucleus it has DNA floating in the nucleoplasm. Then they have mitochondria floating in the cytoplasm. There is a cell membrane, the outer yellow cover, and then these are the endoplasmic reticulum. Lysosomes which are budded off from the Golgi apparatus. Okay, and ribosomes. They may be freely floating in the cytoplasm or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Then the powerhouse of the cell, mitochondria, here also and here also. Okay, so these are the basic components which are present inside a cell. Endoplasmic reticulum can be smooth also and can be rough also, depending on the presence or absence of ribosomes. Clear? So this is the basic structure of an animal cell. Let us move forward and get study plant and animal cell in comparative. So what happens in a plant cell? See here, the plant cell, it's a Venn diagram. I want to explain you through the help of this Venn diagram. Here what happens, this is the plant cell. A plant cell uniquely has cell wall, whereas the animal cell do not have a cell wall. The plant cell has large vacuole, whereas the animal cell has small vacuole. Plant cell has chloroplast, whereas it is absent in animal cell. Plant cells have flagella only in gametes. But here animal cell do have flagella, so that they are motile, they can move. Both possess the common factors between plants and animal cells are mitochondria is found in both. Golgi apparatus is found in both. Although in plant cell, what we call them? We call them dictyosomes. Rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulums are present in both. Nucleus, of course, present in both. Cytoplasm, of course, present in both. And ribosomes present in both. Okay. So the differences will lie in not having chloroplast, in having only small vacuoles in animal cell, no cell wall in animal cell, and flagella almost every time present for the motility. Clear? Moving forward. The next is cell wall. Cell wall, see here there is a diagram, handmade diagram of cell wall. Cell wall is of two types, primary cell wall and secondary cell wall. Okay, primary and the secondary cell wall. If you can see, these different cells are attached to each other by one thing in between, that is the cell wall has a cement kind of thing present in between, the brown color, which we call it as middle lamella. Middle lamella acts as a cement and joins the two cells together. Okay, and then we have plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata are small connections between the cytoplasms of two different cells, because cell membrane is tough enough, they cannot coordinate, they cannot send messages and coordinately work together. So they have these plasmodesmata to send signals and to work in collaboration. Okay, so this is a typical structure of a cell wall. If you will study about cell wall, I'll be giving you the notes also, then you will understand more about it.